cuff with this one. This is the bird of prey I built back in 2015, 2016 with the Dawn's Light and Magic wing hinge kit. And did some weathering on it, which I tuned up a little bit with this pass, but I had lighting failures in the wing specifically because the wiring broke. I left it as is for several years. Then I decided to crack it open here just a few weeks ago and get in and relight it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna do a little bit of wiring, because in here, second there, I'm trying to remember how I did this, but I believe I ran power into the LEDs here for these lights and then back out to the head. So I got power going in, but I got to splice in for the rest here. So we're gonna do that first. I'm trying to figure out the electrical, because this thing's been apart for so long I don't necessarily remember everything I did. So I got to figure out main power in, engine lighting, getting power to the front, and also powering. We're gonna have some fiber optics on there, and hopefully I can crack open these wings to rewire these lights. But for now, what I've done is replace this wire. We're going to splice it in over here, power these, and see what happens. I'll bring these up, and as you can see, we have light again, lights in the windows, torpedo tube lighting, engine lighting. So all we need to do is clean things up, add some fiber optics for the marker lights, and crack these wings open so I can light these. I got one side accessed. This one's going to be a bit harder. We'll come back once that's done. Cut out a number of steps, but the bird of prey is back together and functional. Got to do a bunch of cleanup. So some repainting, some reweathering. And I'm going to do that later. In the meantime, I'm going to start setting the base up for a battery supply. So I've already removed 2 of the supports, and we're also going to put a switch in too. So with this, I don't want it to exceed, a little hard to tell there, exceed the height of that. But I want to leave room to be able to put the cover on, move the cover as needed. So, and in this case, this has an on and off switch. I'm going to leave it permanently on because the master switch in the base is going to control everything. Just like that. Couldn't be simpler. Cut a hole for this, test fit it, and then paint this. And there's the underside, switches in. Of course, we'll need to paint this up first. And the switch just has a little, I should have thought that out better. The switch has a couple little grippers, so I'll need to get that deep pressed to get that out of there. Then we'll paint it and put it back together. So I've done paint touch-ups in various areas. The backs of the wings, a couple leading edges, up and around here. So now we're going to re-weather it, and in places where I have a lot of issues from breaking apart, put it back together again, we're really going to rust this area up. And yeah, now you can see she's mounted to the base. Let's put a 9-volt battery in there. We can turn it on and see how she's looking. For weathering, my system's pretty straightforward. I use, well, I guess not this anymore since it's discontinued, but just black wash. I don't use this as much though. Oops. It's primarily these powders. soot, light rust, medium rust, and dark rust. And depending on how you use them, you can actually see here, like this is, I did light rust here, and here, and here, like so it's just brand new rust, some streaking there. The hinge baffles are a combination of old and medium, and they've even got some old right there. So basically, we're just going to have some fun with it. Basically, I'm trying to take the luster off the paint so it doesn't look quite so new and fresh. Refit bird of prey with additional weathering, lighting fixes, the old Dawn's Light and Magic wing hinge kit, and a battery operated base just so I don't have to deal with plugging things in. Nice and straightforward. Take a little spin around this and talk about the build-up. I still have to do some weathering over here. This is because I had to break the wing halves open to fix the fiber optics for the wing lights. So instead of going too crazy and filling and sanding, I'm going to apply some rust to those areas. When I built this originally, I also made a scratch-built accurate engine. So I had to make these little radiators here to kind of match the side detail there, and the two-part engine assembly. That's just 0.5 millimeter clear styrene, and I used the kit supplied parts where it mounts to the body. So this wing hinge kit doesn't exist anymore through Dawn's Light and Magic. I believe Green Strawberry is making a new kit, which I'm curious about, but I will tell you, having put it in, I really don't alter the wing configuration very much. So it's a case of, is the $100+ worth it? Maybe. It depends on the individual modeler. It is nice to have the option, especially if you're doing photography. Oh, I've built this kit a number of times over the years. The wing hinge kit. It was a nice addition, and something, just a new challenge. Let's try something different. I do like that round 2 has added instead of opposable wings, they have different radiators, hinges, whatnot. So you can potentially use magnets and just switch out those rather than do the wing hinge kit. It's a fun kit. There's a lot of reference photos online. So yeah, I hope you like what I've done here, and I hope you all go out and build your owns that are build your owns. Build your own that are far better than this one. You see, I've got another one in the stash that I'm going to use all the green strawberry parts on, because I'm curious how they shape up, and not having to manufacture my own engine is a definite plus.